sneak preview of the weather. There'll be more later. Hi, happy Wednesday, third day of February 2021. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're live here from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee. Thanks for starting your day with us. Going to be another beautiful day today. We had a little squall came through yesterday afternoon. It lasted about 20 minutes, and then it was gone. Outside of that, it was a beautiful day yesterday. Going to be a nice day today. Nice Thursday, Friday. Very quiet, sunny, pleasant, early February weather. We don't deserve it, but we're getting it, so we'll take it. No complaints about that. However, there's going to be some significant mountain snow for you past travelers coming up in the next 24 hours or so. We'll get you those details in just a couple of minutes. But right now, it's looking good. Just a few clouds, 32 degrees outside of our studios. Days are getting longer. Winter is starting to think like maybe it's starting to go away a little bit. We're not done with winter yet. All things considered, though, it's been pretty quiet. Winter-wise, we're supposed to have a La Nina year, colder than normal, wetter than normal. That really hasn't panned out, has it? Forecast details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. They had another news conference, a COVID-related news conference from the Chelan Douglas Health District at the Town Toyota Center yesterday. Our own Jefferson Robbins was there. We'll have a story on that when we get to news. Make it 15 in a row for the Lady Bulldogs from Gonzaga, although it was close. We'll talk about that when we get to sports. Also, Haley Van Lith is on the short list of players to keep an eye on in the world of women's college basketball. Plus, we'll have the obscure holidays, some celebrity birthdays, today in history. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And my friend Alan Walker, the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, had a chance to come down here, mask up, and visit with me because the 9th annual Empty Bowls fundraising event is going on as we speak. And you can participate, and they ask you to participate. It's pretty cool. Those details with Alan in our conversation portion coming up at the back half of the hour. All right, let's see what we got. Let's take our tour around Wenatchee Valley, north central Washington. We begin with the cross camera when we can. Yesterday we couldn't use it because it was all fogged over. As you can see, we had quite a bit of snow melt yesterday. Look at Badger Mountain off in the distance and Birch Mountain right in the middle of your screen. Yeah, they've lost quite a bit of snow. We had 45 yesterday. Our normal high is 38, so it was mild. 45 and 31 were our high and low yesterday. Sunrise this morning, almost here, 7:24. Sunset, 5:06. That's 9 hours and 42 minutes of daylight on what's going to be another beautiful day here in the Wenatchee Valley. All right, let's see where Megan wants to go visit. She wants to go see what's going on up Waterville Way from the Waterville camera, looking dramatically down. It's almost like being in an airplane, isn't it? That's the Waterville camera looking down over the Columbia River. You can see portions of the Aniad area there. Way off in the distance is the Wenatchee Valley. By the way, Pine Canyon is still closed. You'll see the video from the rock slide. It's a pretty big rock slide. Not only do they have to clear the rocks away, but they have to restabilize the slope. So for the time being, if you need to drive up to Waterville from the Wenatchee Valley, well, Badger Mountain Road is your alternative. It's your only way, really, unless you really want to go a long way. So good morning to the Columbia River. Thanks for being there for us. No Columbia River, no Wenatchee Valley, if you think about it. Camera number 3. Ooh, jump off? Ah, that's cool. Nicely done. That's a beautiful view from Jump Off Ridge, which is not a very easy place to get to this time of the year. One of our over-the-air transmitters is up there. It's been on the fritz, and our guys who fix it are having a difficult time getting to the site. It's snowcats and snowmobiles. So there's the Wenatchee Valley way off in the distance and the Stemmill Basin dominating your view there. And finally, camera number 4. It's off to, that's got to be Leavenworth zoomed in. Is that the Tumwater camera? That is a really neat shot of downtown Leavenworth. Of course, Leavenworth, being a pretty narrow valley, doesn't get as much sunshine as the valley does, has colder temperatures at night. They still have quite a bit of snow on the ground, as you can tell. So if you're looking for a winter wonderland, go to Leavenworth or go up to the mountain passes because they're going to get a lot of snow coming up. There are lots of mountain snow coming in the Cascades in the next couple of. In fact, let's go ahead and throw you that slide. It's snowing right now. Most of the big time snow is really going to be coming Thursday morning through Friday morning. Heavy snow, as a matter of fact, on Stevens Pass. It's going to snow a little bit today, not that much. And then tomorrow they're going to get about 4 inches, and then anywhere they could get up to 8 inches of additional snow up on Stevens Pass. We're talking maybe a foot of new snow by the time Friday rolls around. I-90 is going to get some snow. The Idaho Panhandle going to get some snow. Western Montana is going to get some snow. But as you can see, that big blank area right in the middle of your screen is us, and we're not going to get any snow. Doesn't look like it anyway. Don't bet on it. But you go up to the higher elevations of the Cascades, and it's going to be a bit dicey for you commuters if you need to do that. Okay, from the National Weather Service, here we go. I like doing this. I'd like to be the bearer of good news. 43 with quite a bit of sunshine today, 31 for the overnight low. Just a couple more clouds on Thursday. No big deal. It's a weak wave that's going to kind of leap right on through. I don't even know what that, somebody spell that word. 45 for the high on Thursday. Friday, sunshine, 48, looking good for the weekend. Get out and enjoy Saturday, 46 sunshine. Super Bowl Sundays. Super Bowl is a registered trademark of the National Football League, all rights reserved. Mid-40s, just well above normal temperatures again, or normal high this time of the year, right around 38 or 39. So very mild, very quiet, very pleasant, very nice indeed. That's the Wenatchee Valley. Mountain passes, yeah, that's another story altogether. Last I checked on I-90, it is snowing. And it is snowing, but it's not sticking to the roadway. Roadway is pretty much barren, wet on Snoqualmie Pass. Some slush in places, no advisories, no restrictions. That is not the story on Stevens. Although it is not snowing on US 2 Stevens Pass. It was earlier. They have a traction tire advisory there. Still seeing quite a bit of asphalt. That's right at the summit of Stevens Pass. That camera that you see there is at the lodge, the ski resort lodge, and it sticks out over the highway there. That's why you get such a beautiful view there. Again, traction tires are advised. You'll find compact snow and ice on the roadway. Blewett looks a tad dicey. There's Blewett. Traction tires are advised there. It is snowing lightly on Blewett Pass. The roadway mostly bare. They're expecting off and on light snow showers today in the Cascades. But as we just showed you, the big snow event going to be Thursday and Thursday night with 2 to 4 inches of snow on all of the major mountain passes tomorrow. And then a big dumping of snow Thursday night. Snoqualmie is going to get about 4 inches. Blewett's going to get about 5 inches. And Stevens Pass tomorrow night, Thursday night, is going to get about 8 inches of snow. So if you're driving over the river and through the woods to grandmother's house from here to there on Friday with all of that snow, it's going to pack some extra patience. You're going to need it. 8 minutes after the hour, going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day. Winco.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Nine minutes after the hour, starting to see some clearer skies. We're at 32 degrees. We'll be right around 42 or 43 for the afternoon high. Lots of sunshine, so it's going to be just a couple of degrees cooler than it was on Tuesday, but well above normal temperatures. And bountiful sunshine is in the forecast all the way through the early part of next week. And here are your headlines. The Washington State Patrol says Pine Canyon between Orondo and Waterville still closed this morning after a rock slide blocked most of Highway 2 yesterday morning. Trooper Jeremy Weber said the slide, which is at milepost 144, is blocking both westbound lanes and is partially blocking the eastbound lane.
Hey folks, this is Trooper Weber with your Washington State Patrol. I'm here in the area of Pine Canyon, approximately milepost 144 on Highway 2, and as you can see behind me, there's been a massive rock slide that's completely blocking the westbound lanes and partially into the eastbound lanes. Right now, Pine Canyon is closed. We're not sure for how long. I spoke with the superintendent of DOT earlier. It could be closed for 1 to 2 days. We're not sure, but as soon as it's open, we will let you know, but it won't be until this is removed and it's a safe place to travel. This is Trooper Weber, your Washington State Patrol.
And again, it is still closed as of this hour. If they open it up before the show is over, we will let you know. About 30,000 people in the Wenatchee Valley are eligible for their COVID-19 shots, and the mass vaccination site that was put up at the Town Toyota Center last week is on track to fully inoculate about half of them by the middle of March. The center is run by local health volunteers and the National Guard. It's seeing about 800 to 1,000 vaccine recipients each weekday. Of course, it's by appointment only. In a press conference yesterday, Chelan Douglas Health District Administrator Luke Davies says he hopes those numbers remain on target.
If the mass vaccination site is currently doing approximately 4,000 to 5,000 a week, and you have to do a second doses for that period, that means you have 15,000 people for each 6-week period that are getting both first and second doses. So if the supply chain stays stable, we're looking at 12 weeks. But that does not include Okanagan and Grant County, which is probably an additional 20 to 30,000 individuals. So we're looking at potentially 24 weeks in order to get through this first 1B unless we have a massive increase in vaccine doses. At this point in the pandemic, we do not know if the vaccine stops transmission. So it protects you personally, but it's possible to potentially get the virus and transmit it to someone who's vulnerable. We're asking people that even if they are fully vaccinated to continue wearing masks, wash their hands, and social distance. A vaccine is only one method that we have to reduce the severeness of COVID-19. And wearing masks and social distancing are other equally important forms of that prevention.
A shed was destroyed by fire Tuesday morning in Wenatchee, and in the fire, 2 baby goats were killed. By the time crews from Chelan County Fire District 1 and Douglas County Fire District Number 2 arrived, the outbuilding in the 1900 block of Wellington Place, it's in the west end of the Wenatchee Valley, was completely engulfed. The structure fire call came in at 6:38 yesterday morning. Firefighters had cleared the scene by 7:42 in the morning. Kay McKellar is the public information officer for the fire districts, and she said it's the second straight day that a shed fire in the area was believed to have been started by a heating source. In this case, a heating wrap is the suspected source of that fire. On Monday morning, a shed caught fire between 2 homes on Indiana Avenue in Rock Island. That fire, which was reported just after 10 a.m., was started by a heater. Again, according to Kay McKellar, the shed was shared by residents of 2 nearby homes for storage. The shed and the contents of the shed were destroyed. Grant County deputies continue to search for a suspect in a gunpoint robbery at Sandoval's food store Friday afternoon in George. An unidentified amount of money was taken in the 1 p.m. robbery of the store on South Frontage Road, just off of I-90. Kyle Foreman with the Grant County Sheriff's Office said investigators are looking at a similar robbery that happened on January 23rd at a market in Royal City to see if the two are linked, but they haven't yet made that connection. The suspect, described as an Hispanic male, early 20s, about 5 foot 5 inches tall, 145 pounds, carrying a black handgun. He was last seen running south into the George community, where he may have jumped into a waiting vehicle. A Wenatchee man who pled guilty to molestation of a 10-year-old boy was sentenced to only 6 months in prison on Monday, plus treatment. 26-year-old Miguel Garzo Villicana had most of his 4-year sentence for first-degree child molestation suspended under the state's special sex offender sentencing option, also known as the SSOSA. Wenatchee police arrested Garza in August of last year. He pled guilty in Chelan County Superior Court in December. He has had no prior criminal record. The SSOSA program allows first-time sex offenders to serve part of their sentence in therapeutic programs in lieu of prison time. Douglas County has lost an appeal in a lawsuit over the maintenance of a 100-year-old roadway that used to maintain the East Wenatchee Irrigation Canal. The Wenatchee Reclamation District sued in 2018, saying Douglas County wrongly vacated and then demolished a portion of the access road used to reach the canal from Baker Street. The county then used the vacated property to build a retention pond. Well, a visiting judge ruled last year that Douglas County failed to properly notify the Reclamation District and order the county to restore the road. And on Monday, the state appeals court upheld that ruling. The appellate judges urged the county and the district to find a solution to the problem without resorting to another lawsuit in the future. And today is National Missing Persons Day. It's an annual reminder to one Wenatchee family that has been searching for their missing loved one for more than 4.5 years. Brittany Moore appeared on this very program yesterday to talk to me about the disappearance of her sister, Jessie Grace Moore.
So on June 20th of 2016, my sister, Jessie Grace Moore, was no longer in contact with my family, and it all came out that she went missing, and a video was taken of her the day she went missing at Centennial Park. And we found this video after we realized she was missing, but in the video, her head is shaved, and that was a complete shock to my family and I, and we, to this day, have no idea who did that, if she did that. And in the video, she's clearly under mental stress, and, you know, she's being made fun of in the video, belittled. It was really, you know, heartbreaking to watch, and it's heartbreaking that that is the last memory we have of her. But it is a great identifier. So at that time, her head was shaved. Possibly some lettering was shaved into her head, or 13 lines as well. So yeah, I felt like her case wasn't getting the attention it deserved. She did battle with mental health issues as well as drug abuse. And I feel like stories like hers can fall by the wayside and not get the coverage that they need. So I had reached out to so many people to cover her case, so many, you know, YouTubers, podcasters, and I wasn't getting the response that she deserves to get her case covered. So we kind of took it into our own hands, and, you know, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers where we're able to share her story and get it out there and break it down, the theories and all of the information and who she was as a person, because that's so important, you know, because you can just see a picture of someone and say, people don't realize who she was as a person. She was a beautiful person who was going to offer so much to this world, and someone thought they had the right to take her from us, and 100% we think foul play is involved in her disappearance. That's important to know. We don't think she just up and left. She had 2 sons that she cared about deeply, and even though she was going through a lot at that time, she cared about us, and she wouldn't just up and leave her family, and she was in constant contact with my family all the time. So the fact that we heard nothing from her, it's a huge indicator that something happened to her. Her case is still open to this day. It's being actively investigated by Steve Evett, and he has helped us tremendously. He looks into everything we send to him, any possible tips, any possible sightings. He will look into it, and he meets with us regularly to communicate, and it makes us feel so reassured that something is being done, steps are being taken to look for Jessie, and it doesn't matter what tips come in. If it's a dead end, he's going to look into it, and he's going to do what he can, and he cares about finding justice for Jessie and finding out what happened to her.
That's just making news on this third day of February, National Missing Persons Day. It is 19 minutes after the hour. We will have a newscast for you. We endeavor to put together a newscast because we believe an informed viewer is the way to go. With a preview of tonight's news, here's the anchor, Greg Olson.
Good morning, Dan, and thanks. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, other than a few mountain snow showers, our weather over the next several days will be mostly sunny and unseasonably mild. I'll have all the details coming up in your North Central Washington weather forecast, and Eric Granstrom will be in with a look at all the latest sports action. That and all the day's news headlines coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope you'll join us then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Yeah, Grant handles the weather forecasting, so needless to say, he's been a pretty popular guy around the bullpen lately. At the bottom of your screen are any number of ways you can get a hold of us, and we like it when you get a hold of us. We enjoy it. You got a news tip, you just want to drop us a note and say hi, you can use the Facebook app on our Facebook page. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can call us at the number that you see at the bottom of your screen, or you can contact us by going to our homepage at ncwlife.com. 20 minutes after the hour, the Gonzaga Lady Bulldogs are one of the hottest basketball teams in the nation. We got some Haley Van Lith news, and the Seahawks have a new offensive coordinator officially. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
21 minutes after the hour, sports. Haley Van Lith is being watched by the nation, and even though she's just a freshman at Louisville, her name came up on a very reputable watch list yesterday. Van Lith, part of the top 10 list announced by the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and the Women's Basketball Coaches Association as a candidate for the 2021 Nancy Lieberman Award. The Lieberman Award recognizes the nation's top point guard. The 5'7" Van Lith has started every game for the Cardinals this season. She's averaging almost 12 points a game, 5.5 rebounds a game, is hitting 37.5% from three-point range. She's third in the team with 35 assists and third in the team with steals. She's got 19 of those, nominated along with Haley, by the way, as her teammate, Dana Evans, who's one of the top scorers in the nation in women's college basketball. 2 Met-How residents have been named to the U.S. ski team. Novi McCabe is a 2020 graduate of Liberty Bell High School. The Winthrop native is one of 6 skiers named to the Women's Junior World Championships team. She's listed on the U.S. ski team site as a member of the cross-country D team. Walker Hall is a Mazama native who also graduated from Liberty Bell in 2020. He's been named as an alternate for the Men's Junior World Championship team. Both are expected to compete at the upcoming 2021 FIS Nordic Junior and U23 World Ski Championships, which will be held in Finland. The 2 Met-How natives joined the ski team that already features Mazama's Sadie Bjornsson. She's a 2-time Olympian who's been part of the U.S. ski team for the past decade. New Seahawks offensive coordinator Shane Waldron made his media debut in a Zoom conference on Tuesday. The 41-year-old Portland native, not surprisingly, is quite thankful for the Seahawks and Pete Carroll for being given the gig. He also showed his appreciation to the guy he's worked under for the past 7 years.
You know, this is a relationship-driven business, and there's great friends and great people that you meet along the way, and no one really goes at this alone. And I think, you know, Sean McVay, the things he's done for me, both from our friendship, being a colleague, being a mentor, and really providing me a platform to grow and develop in this business has been so instrumental to leading me to this opportunity. And I get it. There's a competitive nature that all of a sudden just switched sidelines with this thing. But with Sean and with Les and Kevin and the rest of the Rams organization, along with all those coaches and players, you know, I wouldn't be here without them. And I am so appreciative, but also ready to compete and ready to get after this 2021 season with the Seahawks. So
the word is that Waldron was one of Russell Wilson's guys. Russell wanted this guy as they went looking for a new offensive coordinator. Waldron says he's looking forward to working with Russell Wilson and utilizing his special playmaking skills.
He's an exciting guy to get to work with. You know, he's a guy that, just like Coach Carroll, just that utmost respect from afar, from the opposite sideline. You know, a guy that anytime in any situation in the game when, you know, I've been on the offensive side of the ball, but you peek up and you're just saying, man, at any point this guy can explode and create a game-winning play. And, you know, he's the type of quarterback that, you know, which I love, that I don't think there's any scenario that he's probably entered in life where he thought he was going to fall short. And, you know, he's got that mindset that he's going to be the best. He's going to attack every day, preparing himself to be the best. And that's really the exciting part about it. From a positional standpoint, he can make every throw you need to make. He can run any part of any offense that you want to get to. And so I think the best thing for us is going to be really finding out, with this marriage, where we fit together, what things he loves, what things fit offensively, and then moving forward from there. But I couldn't be more excited to work with him.
Waldron grew up in Portland, was a long snapper and a tight end in college. He went to Tufts University, and he says he's always appreciated Coach Pete Carroll from afar, and now he gets to work with him one-on-one in Seattle.
I've always just respected him from afar or from the opposite sideline. I've never had a chance to really interact with him before Seattle had reached out to start this interview process. So that was really the way this thing started. And, my first experience going against Coach Carroll was not a positive one. I was fortunate to work with Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame as a graduate assistant when he was in his USC days. And, he got the better of us a couple times there. So, but that was really the start of my really appreciation for him and as a head coach and as a person. But it's all been from afar, and now this has been a chance to really start to develop that relationship.
Now, Waldron has 90 days until Seattle welcomes the 2021 draft class, along with undrafted free agents. Sarah Walker drained 2 crucial three-pointers in the closing minutes, and Gonzaga beat YU. It was a close one. They put away the Cougars, though, in women's college basketball last night. The final was 63-56. Walker was assessed a technical foul in the closing minutes. That allowed BYU to tie the game, but instead of losing her cool, the senior guard out of Oregon City, Oregon, helped Gonzaga win his 15th straight, and they finally got a little distance between themselves and BYU atop the West Coast Conference standings. Okanagan's Jill Townsend once again led the Bulldogs in scoring. She had 18 points. Kaylee Truong was the only other Gonzaga starter in double figures. She had 11. The Bulldogs are ranked 19th in the nation. They're 16-2 on the year, 11-0 in conference play. They're off for the next week. They don't play again until next Thursday at home against Santa Clara. Now, as far as the Gonzaga men's basketball team is concerned, they want to play somebody. What do you say? Should we slap on the sneakers and take on number 1 Gonzaga? They were supposed to play Loyola Marymount and Santa Clara this week, but both of those programs have COVID issues, so Mark Few's been on the phone trying to find somebody to play. Anybody out there? They tried for third-ranked Villanova, but they found Georgetown. They also tried former Washington State coach Kelvin Sampson, who's now with 5th-ranked Houston, but logistics involving travel made that too difficult. So Gonzaga is looking at a long time, over a week, between basketball games. I say let's take them on. Been a while. Those are just some of the games that people are playing, or in this case, not playing, on this Wednesday, the 3rd day of February. I had 4 obscure holidays to choose from. As we've already mentioned, today is National Missing Persons Day. Today is National Carrot Cake Day. Good carrot cake. National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Thank you, Title IX. But no, speaking of ladies and women, National Women's Physicians Day, because this is the birth date of Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell, who was the very first woman ever to receive a medical degree in this country. She was born February 3rd, 1821 in Bristol, England. The next decade, about a decade or so later, in 1832, her family immigrated to New York, and she had a really good friend. She was a trailblazer. She was involved in all kinds of abolitionist work, and when she was in her mid-20s, one of her best friends suffered from a terminal disease, and her best friend said, it would be really nice to have a female doctor to talk about this instead of a male doctor, and that planted the seed in Elizabeth Blackwell, and so she decided to pursue a career in medicine, and in 1849 she got her medical degree. So there you go. She was the first woman to become a medical doctor, at least in the contemporary area when you needed an education to do it. So we celebrate National Women's Physicians Day. My primary care physician is a woman. There you go. World War I, you remember that? We won, by the way. We didn't declare war with Germany until April of 1917, but for all intents and purposes, February 3rd, 1917, 104 years ago today, was really when it started. The American entry into World War I, I should say, really began on this day because diplomatic relations with Germany were severed because Germany said unrestricted submarine warfare, which means we're going to sink any ship that's heading our way that may be bringing munitions or food or anything else to the people that we're fighting. We don't care where the ship came from. If we think it's going to help France and Great Britain, we're going to sink it. And so that kind of started that. A couple of months later, we officially declared war, and down the road we went. February 3rd, 1959, 62 years ago today, the day the music died. The winter dance party was not going well, the tour of the upper Midwest in the dead of winter. And finally, Buddy Holly said, I've had enough of this. I'm going to take an airplane from Mason City, Iowa to Fargo, North Dakota. JP, the Big Bopper Richardson, was suffering from a cold. He got his plane seat from Waylon Jennings, the bassist in Buddy Holly's band. In the meantime, Richie Valens was only 17, had never flown with a small plane before. He won the infamous coin flip with Tommy Alsop, who was Buddy Holly's guitarist. He got another seat in the back of the Bonanza airplane. In the front seats, Buddy Holly and the pilot, 21-year-old Roger Peterson. They just wanted to get their laundry done and get a good night's sleep. And in the early morning hours of February 3rd, 1959, they got a lot more sleep than they bargained for when the plane simply flew right into the ground. Roger Peterson was 21 years old, was considered a very competent pilot. Unfortunately, he had a little bit of a hearing loss problem, and that gave him vertigo. And you don't want your pilot to have vertigo. And as soon as the plane took off, there were no ground lights. This is Iowa farm country. There was no horizon for you to look at visually. He had to rely on his instruments, and he was not trained or certified for instrument flying. The gyroscope, the instrument on the panel of the airplane that tells you your relation of the airplane to the ground, was an inverted gyroscope. So basically, Roger Peterson thought he was slowly climbing when in fact he was slowly descending. The plane hit the ground at the farm of Albert Jewell, traveling at about 180 miles an hour, and all four were killed the day the music died, 62 years ago today. This is the 60th anniversary of Operation Looking Glass. What is that? Well, it occurred to the United States Air Force that, if the Strategic Air Command actually gets destroyed in a massive nuclear war, how are we supposed to retaliate? And so they came up with Operation Looking Glass, and for the next 30 years, without exception, a plane called the Doomsday plane was always flying. And it had the capability of taking direct control of all U.S. bombers and missiles in case the Strategic Air Command Center was destroyed in war. And it flew for 30 years nonstop. I mean, it would land, and before it landed, another plane would take off with another group of 20 or so. Operation Looking Glass began on this date 60 years ago today. They don't have that anymore. Of course, we're doing Super Bowls this time of the year, February 3rd, 2002, 19 years ago today, Super Bowl XXXVI, the modern football dynasty that is the New England Patriots began on this day 19 years ago. They beat the Rams 20-17 to win Super Bowl 36. In New Orleans, the Patriots have played in 9 Super Bowls and have won 6 of them since Bill Belichick became their head coach. This was the very first Super Bowl that was won by a team from the AFC Eastern Division. They had been in 8 prior Super Bowls and not won any of them. Now they can't seem to lose them. This was the very first Super Bowl ever played in February. This was the first Super Bowl after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2001, so everything was bumped back, delayed a week. The Super Bowl was originally supposed to be played that year on January 27th. Instead, it was held on February 3rd. Amongst patriotic fever, Adam Vinatieri's 48-yard field goal on the last play of the game was the winner for the Patriots, and this was the very last Super Bowl that was played on AstroTurf. Super Bowl 36 took place on this date 19 years ago. Let's see, Super Bowl XLII took place on this date, February 3rd, 2008. This was 13 years ago. This was the big one. This was the classic. Voted the greatest Super Bowl ever by the experts. The Giants beat the undefeated New England Patriots 17-14 to win Super Bowl 42 in Glendale, Arizona. Of course, the Patriots were undefeated. They were 12-point favorites. It has been ranked on NFL.com as the greatest Super Bowl ever played. This is the only Super Bowl that had 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Happened on this date back in, I don't know, I forgot already. February 3rd, 2013, 8 years ago, Super Bowl XLVII, also known as Super Bowl 47. In Nolens, the Baltimore Ravens defeat the 49ers 34-31. This was the famous blackout bowl for 34 minutes in the third quarter. Half the lights went out in the Superdome and everybody just sat around. Authorities later said that the reason nobody really panicked during the blackout is that everybody had their smartphones with them, and so they just kind of sat there and played on their phones while they fixed the problem. The Ravens beat the Niners, of course. This is the only Super Bowl, Super Bowl 47, is the only Super Bowl between 2003 and 2019 that didn't have either Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, or Peyton Manning. That's pretty incredible. Pretty good Super Bowl, too. And speaking of pretty good Super Bowls, 2 years ago today, it was a bad Super Bowl. Super Bowl LII, Super Bowl 53, the Great Snooze Fest. February 3rd, 2019, 2 years ago, the Patriots win their 6th Super Bowl. They beat the Rams 13-3 in Atlanta. This is the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history. The game was tied 3-3 after 3 quarters. 7 people were rushed to the hospital with boredom. I made that part up. It's the lowest rated Super Bowl, by the way, of modern times. People tuned out. It was like, come on, play. Anyway, more Super Bowls coming your way tomorrow. One birthday, James Michener, who was one of my dad's favorite authors, born in this state in 1907. I've only read one of his books, but I read the right one, Tales of the South Pacific. My dad had a first edition copy of that book, and he gave it to me, and I still have it. It's the only Michener book I ever read. His books are considered classics among American contemporary novelists: Hawaii, Centennial, The Drifters, The Fires of Spring, Chesapeake, Caravans, Alaska, Texas, Space, Poland. If you got a couple of years to kill, pick up a James Michener novel and read it. Dad did. He loved him. James Michener, born in the state a long time ago. Great American author. 38 minutes after the hour. Going to take a break. Mike McNaughty has gone to opinion. Then Alan Walker had a chance to come down and pay me a visit yesterday. We taped our conversation to talk about the Empty Bowls event. It is back, and it's the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Network's food distribution program. Alan will be joining us next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
How much are you paying for adult, family, or assisted living? Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living offers one-bedroom apartments for one affordable price. Their rates are all-inclusive, no nickel or diming or sudden increases, just one set price. You or your loved one will receive good food and excellent care in a relaxed, home-like environment. Stop on by for a tour to see if the Epladolin family is the right choice for you.
Family-owned and operated Epladolin Retirement and Assisted Living in Cashmere. Affordable care.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills. A chill is in the air and it's a perfect time for some old-fashioned comfort food like our amazing Eggs Benedict, chicken fried steak, French dips, soups made from scratch, or fruit pies fresh from the oven. The crowds might be gone, but we're still here for you folks, so bring an appetite and a friend to Blueberry Hills in Manson, where you pick, you sit, you eat, and you visit. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 3. wildaboutberries.com.
At Winco, we're working to save you money. Every aisle, every department, every day. Winco.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, a Christian friend of mine recently posted something on Facebook that said something like this. God made men and women, and nothing that we think, do, or feel is going to change that. Well, I suggest folks who feel that way, they should do a little research into people who are intersex and learn a little bit about these folks who were born with undefined sexual physiology. I'm sorry, it's true. There are. Okay. There are indeed those among us who are not clearly male or female, either physically, chemically, and or emotionally. And maybe it's time that we grasp the biblical concept of compassion and mercy, rather than clinging to the non-biblical idea that we are supposed to judge others who are different from us and whom we don't understand. Or maybe we shouldn't judge those who don't agree with our personal theology. Well, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
Is search engine optimization right for my business? Maybe. Studies show the first and second search results get 50% of all the clicks. But you have to fight national chains to get there. If the user has to scroll down to find you, tough luck. You could hide a dead body on page 2 and the whole zombie apocalypse on page 3. Or you could spend less and get an ad in the Impact Big Print phone book, giving local businesses a chance to shine.
Impact Directories. Bigger print, better book.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu, because we work to get you to work.
Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around North Central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Anytime I can use the word annual, it's a good thing, which means people like it. It has a little momentum. It begins to become a tradition. And the 9th annual Wenatchee Empty Bowls event is, well, it's going on now, technically speaking, and we want you to participate. You're familiar with it by now, and if you're not, Alan Walker, the executive director of the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, who's making his very first appearance on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, has agreed to join us. Hello, Alan, my friend.
Good morning, Dan. First appearance with
the mask.
Our new attire.
Alan has been on the show in this COVID world, but we were doing it on Skype, but we have decided as long as we're masked up and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and nobody knows about doing what they're supposed to be doing better than Alan, we thought we'd have him in the studio. First of all, I think you were my last guest of the 2020 year. You used the term adaptability.
Yes.
To sum up your organization in the year 2020. Here we are a month into 2021. Give me a quick little update on the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council.
Boy, the word hasn't changed much, still adaptability. But we're going great. We really are. And we continue to evolve. We continue to try to figure out how we can better serve our customers and our neighbors, looking for a little assistance. And it really has worked out well. You know, we've gone to almost an entirely remote process for a lot of our programs. Some we're still face-to-face with people, and in their homes with their weatherization or be it with food distribution. But a lot of our other programs we're able to completely do over the phone, and it really reduces a lot of challenges or barriers that folks have to get a little bit of help.
It's good that you mentioned weatherization this time of the year because we're in winter. We need to touch on that a little bit more. For those of you who don't know, maybe some of the clients live in an older home that has newspaper, as their insulation, and you guys help them out with that.
We do, yeah. Our weatherization crew, they do about 30 homes a year, which for a crew of 3 is quite an accomplishment, I think. But yes, insulation, doors, windows, sometimes we can do HVAC systems. We just finished up one home. We were able to do their HVAC system, their cooking range, it was a gas range, as well as their hot water tank. So a lot of different programs, different funding sources that we have to support that. So if folks are in need of some weatherization, some home improvement projects, we primarily focus, of course, on low-income individuals. You don't have to be the homeowner, you can be a renter, and check us out, see if we can do some work for you.
Before we get into the Empty Bowls event, one more quick question. It's actually not a question. I asked Alan this state to fill in this blank during our December visit, and I asked Alan off the hand, how much food that you guys distributed in the year 2020, especially after COVID hit and people were being laid off and they were having a hard time making ends meet, and you had new clients for the first time. And I can't remember the number, but I made my jaw drop. You remember what it was off the top of your head?
Yes, I do. Just over 4 million pounds in 2020. That equates to roughly 80,000 pounds of food a week. So if you can imagine 2 semi trucks going down the interstate, each one of those carries about 40,000 pounds. So every week, 2 semis of food we were repackaging and getting out the door. About 1,800 households a week, 20 different locations throughout the 2-county area.
And I know it sounds silly, but where does the food come from? If you say the farm, I'm going to slap you upside the head.
Oh, I was going to say the ground.
Yeah.
Is that better than the farm?
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Although you did have a number of agricultural providers give you potatoes and onions. And
absolutely.
Stuff like
we
that.
had a great response from local producers, potatoes, onions, fruit, just a tremendous response from our local farmers. And predominantly the food is mostly rescue products from grocery stores and federal food programs. There was a lot of trade mitigation, a lot of things were put into place that restricted the food being exported out of our country. And so the federal government was buying up some of that surplus food, and we were being the recipients of that, and our neighbors as well.
8 years ago, they came up with Empty Bowls. It's now ready to go for its 9th annual event. It already began. It began a couple of weeks ago, and it goes over the next 8 weeks, if I remember correctly. Empty Bowls 101, as we throw up photos, Alan's going to give you the gist of what this is all about.
Absolutely. So for the next 6 weeks, we're 2 weeks into the 8-week program. Every Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. with our great partner, Inspiration Ceramics and Art Cafe. You can come into their facility there between noon and 6 p.m. on Sundays. You can schedule an appointment and paint in their facility. They will have limited space available for that. Or you can simply come in, purchase your bowls, they will give you the paints, and you can go home and paint your own bowl in your home. Bring it back to Inspirations. They glaze it, they fire it. It becomes a beautiful display piece, or you can use it for your everyday eating.
And people do it.
Yes, yes. My wife and I have several bowls, although mine are not on display. They're hidden in the back of the cupboard. My wife's, however, are beautiful, and they're out now.
Yeah, some of the people put a lot of effort and time. Some of these bowls are phenomenally, they're works of art.
Yes, they are. They really are. You'll see some pictures there, and we have one gentleman that's painting all of the presidents in the bowls, and I think he's down to about 10 more presidents. But that's quite an accomplishment over the course of the years, and a true artist at his work. So I mentioned Inspirations. I also need to mention Cascade Natural Gas, a great supporter of our organization and a great partner on this year's Empty Bowls event.
And there's a reason they call it the Empty Bowls event, because there are still way too many people in the North Central Washington area who go to bed hungry.
There are, Dan, there really are. We were hoping to start to see a little bit of reduced demand, if you will, through our food distribution sites. as we entered into 2021. That has not occurred. If anything, we're seeing additional people seeking food support. So the number of people looking for a little extra nutritional support during the week or during the month, it continues to increase. And that's really what the Empty Bowls event is to illustrate, is not everybody's bowl is full when they sit down to eat. And this is one way that we can give back as a community and support the efforts of our food distribution center and our folks there, and really to support our entire community.
And for those of you who haven't been to the grocery store lately, the price of food has not gone down. Sometimes it's rather shocking. I buy some of the same core items on a weekly basis, and all of a sudden I'm paying $5-6 more a week than I did just a couple of weeks ago for stuff I buy all the time.
It's true. The cost of goods is increasing. I think that's indicative of just the cost in transportation, the additional costs, just as we are here today with masks and other safety protocols, and the grocery stores have to do those things as well. And there's a cost associated with all those things. And as consumers, we oftentimes get to absorb some of that extra cost.
So Empty Bowls, you make your donation. The more you pony up, the more bowls you get, which means the more painting you get to do, and the more that Alan and his group at Chelan Douglas Community Action Council gets. Do you get to pick the colors? Do you have? How does all this work? You say, I want a whole bunch of different colors and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it does. It comes with a complete kit. So you get to pick, it's 4 or 5 colors you get to pick that you want to take home with you, and they give you the paint to take with you. If you want to purchase brushes, they have a package of 4 brushes, I believe it is, for $5. So fairly inexpensive. You can get the brushes if you don't have brushes at home. But the great thing about this is you can really use any item that you may have at home. A lot of folks use a sponge and do sponge painting on the bowl. So you don't have to have a brush. There's other ways to do it. You can use soap and water and make bubbles, designs on the bowl. So, but the paintbrushes are there to purchase if you need to. You take the kit home, or you stay at Inspirations and paint it on site. You finish the product. You hand it back over to the staff or the volunteers at Inspirations, and then they will glaze it and fire it. And then come mid-April, there will be an opportunity to come back to Inspirations and pick up the bowl.
Good for Inspirations, because it's you don't have to do this. It's like I've said many times, it's easier to say no than yes, and they said yes. So
they said yes, and Jennifer and her team have just been phenomenal to work with. Just great people.
And for many years, obviously we're in this COVID world now. It was a big event. I mean, a bunch of people would gather at the Pybus at the local event center with the tables, and it was a kind of almost a party atmosphere. You can still you can go down to Inspirations and do this. So if you prefer to maybe get your creative juices flowing by seeing other people paint a bowl, you can still do that in person.
You can still do that in person. They are limited. It's tables of 4, so folks are spread out. But you can still go and do it in person. Again, it's every Sunday from this Sunday till March 14, noon to 6 p.m.
And this is your single biggest fundraiser of the year from a food distribution standpoint, right?
It is, yes. This is really our only fundraiser from a dollar standpoint that we do for the Food Distribution Center type of an event. We have, food collection events and things like that. But this is really the only one where we're raising cash support for the food distribution.
And can you just say, hey, I don't want to paint, but my granddaughter loves to paint and my grandson loves to paint. Can I just buy them the stuff and they can do it? I mean, without you having to actually paint a bowl?
It's exactly what I am doing. I'm guilty of that. I'll be purchasing bowls for our granddaughters to paint. They are much more artistic and creative than I am. So we'll be purchasing bowls for them. So yes, if the artistic flair is not on your spectrum, do it for a loved one, whatever that might look like.
What Alan is so delicately trying to say is if you can't paint a bowl, other people will do it for you. Do we get all the necessary information? I want to kind of go through one more time on the important dates and what people need to do and how do they get, is there a Facebook page, a website? How do I get all that information?
There's all that information. I must say, even as lack of talent that I am in painting, I did a very nice one year. It was all black and the bottom of the bowl was yellow, and I call it the full moon.
Oh, I like it.
Yes. So, it's there. Yes, Facebook page is available, Inspiration Ceramic, their website, the Community Action Council website, CDCAC, information is available at that location as well. And Facebook CDCAC or Facebook Inspiration Ceramic, you can find information on the Facebook as well. Again, it's every Sunday from this Sunday to March 14th at Inspirations, which is on 9th Street, right across the street from the Confluence Health Pharmacy drive-up window there on 9th Street. So Sundays, noon to 6 p.m.
March 14th is the deadline to get your last unpainted bowl. Then you have one more week till March 21st to get your painted bowl back to the folks who are going to throw it in the kiln and cook it. So those are the two big dates. March 14th is your last day to actually pick up your unpainted bowl and get her done. You have a week to do that, and you have until the 21st to get it back to them.
I forgot a critical part of the whole kit, either if you're painting on-site at Inspirations or if you're taking it home with you, you also receive a coupon for every bowl that you purchase to redeem for a bowl of soup at local restaurants.
Oh!
So we have local restaurants, and you get a coupon, and then you go to the local restaurant to get your bowl of soup. So usually we would have a dinner for everybody at the end of the event, but this year we're not able to pool 500 or 600 people all together in a single room. So, but you will get a coupon for a bowl of soup.
And you'd be amazed, maybe you can paint a bowl, you know? I mean, if Alan can paint a bowl, anybody can paint a bowl.
Very true.
So, Alan, it's always good to see you. Anything we can do for the Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, as you well know, you can come by and pay me a visit anytime you want, Alan.
I appreciate that very much, and just appreciate the opportunity to share this really fun event.
It really is.
Yep.
Just go to Google, type in Wenatchee empty bowls. Everything else just self-fills, and you're down the road. And I'm glad that this event is continuing on in the world that we live in now.
Yes. Had to change things up a little bit, but we adjust and adapt and move forward.
And if we keep doing our part, maybe Alan will be out of a job one of these days, although I seriously doubt it.
I could hope.
Alan, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you as well.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
While it may be hard to resist those big brown eyes and pleading face, many people aren't aware that people food can be dangerous to pets. And it's not just because of the added weight gain. Some foods are downright dangerous, including chocolate. For a detailed list of dangerous foods, go online to pawsandclawsvh.com. If you suspect your pet has eaten something dangerous, please call Dr. Shauna Baez and her staff at 888-PAWS, as your pet's health is important to us.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool & Spa today.
Alta Cellars Winery is a family-owned boutique winery featuring structured wines from some of the most sought-after vineyards in Washington. Time-honored winemaking techniques blend with New World style to create reds and whites that are captivating. Located in the original firehouse in downtown Manson, the spacious indoor-outdoor setting provides the perfect backdrop to indulge in a sit-down wine experience. You're invited to come enjoy this firsthand at Alta Cellars, now open in Manson.
All right, before we do the weather forecast, a real quick update on Pine Canyon between Orondo and Waterville. It is still closed. I just looked at an aerial shot of the rock slide that was taken from a drone camera. A lot of rocks came down on Highway 2, so Pine Canyon is still closed. Okay, here's your forecast. Nothing really to talk about. Very quiet, benign, pleasant early February weather. Look at that. Sunshine today, a high of 43. We hit 45 yesterday. Our normal high is about 37 or 38, so it can look at those temperatures. And sunshine. We're going to have a few clouds kind of going back and forth, kind of a 50-50 deal on Thursday. Outside of that, sunny and mild. Look at the high on Friday, near 50 degrees. Could set a record high on Friday. It's a possibility. Outside of that, bountiful sunshine for pretty much everybody. However, the Cascades are going to get quite a bit of snow Thursday, and especially Thursday night, but we're not expecting any kind of precipitation down here. That's it for us. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.